Hi everybody, welcome back. Wanted to start today's video by saying thank you so much for bearing with me. I am kind of all over the place as I'm trying to figure out the format for these videos. But today, as promised, we are talking about Kelnacca and Torbin. If you have not had a chance to like and subscribe to my channel, please do so. Thumbs up, comments down below. Torbin and Kelnacca, they are interesting people. Well, one interesting person, one very intriguing Wookiee. They are very charismatic characters throughout the series of the Acolyte. Torbin is someone who struggles a lot with his emotions, and that's part of the reason why he took the Barash vow, because he feels that he cannot atone for his sins unless he does something drastic. Now, when you take all of this stuff into consideration, there's a lot of other underlying factors you could consider, but I think the big one is that you find that a lot of people throughout the Star Wars universe struggle with a couple of different things, whether it's economic or spiritual. And in Torbin's case, it's definitely a spiritual impact. He feels like a fool, and he's never been able to get over the fact that he, through his reckless actions, destroyed an entire civilization, wiped out an entire witch coven. Not by his own hand, but because of his actions. People always think that, if you did something wrong, obviously you deserve it. But we always see the same patterns of behavior. It's the idea that every reaction has an equal or opposite reaction. All of these types of things, no matter what you do, compound on each other, and they tend to be on the more negative side. Now, if you live a very positive lifestyle, we can look at the Dalai Lama, someone who lives not in absolutes, but lives in the reality that universal wisdom is granted to those who seek it. If you want fundamental truths about who you are and about the universe, you obviously will be a much happier and successful person. But also, that's one thing you want to make sure you do is take care of your needs, because if you take care of your needs, one thing you're likely to do is you're able to progress. Unfortunately, and I know that's a word I use a lot, but I really believe this, that Torbin is filled with lament and self-doubt because he feels like if he couldn't do something right as a Padawan, what makes you think he can do something right as a knight or even a master? Kelnacca, on the other hand, is a strong being, someone who is wise and feels like they are there to contribute to everyone else's work. It's not that he's wanting to be lazy or anything, but he feels that his role is to be supportive, compassionate, and also a reliable confidant, someone who can confirm suspicions, truth, facts. Now, when you can't do that, you end up with an odd sense of self-doubt, and Kelnacca, for instance, is someone who runs away and hides in a forest afar because he cannot come to terms with his lack of strength. It was essentially taken away by the witches as he goes through all of his trials. Now imagine the feeling of despair and anxiety as you no longer have control over your own being. Those are some of the things that we need to think about when we talk about Kelnacca and we talk about Torbin. But the underlying facts are that you have these individuals all leading towards the finale, where they all tend to build each other up or tear each other down. We'll start with Torbin's fate. Torbin ends up taking his own life because of that shame and that guilt. Kelnacca is defeated. He feels humiliated. He hides. But unfortunately, gets slain by the apprentice of Darth Plagueis. Now, however you feel about how timelines have changed, we always have to remember that life is nothing but change, and things evolve all the time, and there's always new insight that you can receive. That's what's beautiful about Star Wars, is it follows that mentality of trying to find something new and adapt. And so, with all that being said, I'm grateful for everyone staying tuned for these videos. If you have any thoughts on what TV series or TV shows I should do next, put your thoughts down in the comments below. And until next time, this has been my Coffee Corner, and I'll catch you on the next one.